Chapter 11. It was almost morning. The deep blue of the night sky was slowly giving way to deep grays and could not much longer hold off the inevitable dawn, no matter how much Beck wanted it to. He sat in one of the rockers, gently massaging his aching leg and his broken ego. He wasn't really hurt, not in any meaningful physical way. There were no broken bones, no obvious bruises, but there was a wound, and it cut completely through him to that secret place within us all where ourselves are most protected, and the pain was unnameable. For almost 5 hours it had gone on, relentless, implacable, carefully planned techniques guaranteed to obtain the desired results, to ensure against lies, to anticipate and circumvent trained defenses and improvised trickery. Newman had learned well from his Russian teachers. Beck told Newman the little that he knew. Why not? The man had a right to know, and he would find out eventually anyway. How couldn't he? Already Beck was beginning to view Newman openly, in a way that he'd always thought of him secretly. So, as a force of nature, a human leviathan capable of anything, anywhere, anytime, what Kapf had called the Übermensch, the unstoppable Superman of Nietzsche's dreams and other philosophers' nightmares. It didn't take too long before he told Newman of Patricia's theory, as much as he understood of it anyway. He told him Clemente's theory of the case. Hell, he'd even told him Mott's theory of Newman's anti-establishment neurosis. But he'd left out Kapf. Why? Even now he had no clear idea, but hang on to it he did, with the persistence of an oyster to a pearl he would not let Newman see. Newman had been considerate, at least as considerate as a torturer could be to his victim. He could have pressed harder, caused more deeper physical pain, but he'd intentionally held back from it. It was as if even now, with all the barriers stripped away, with all the bullshit that had passed between them, flushed into the dank sewer of their past lives, he couldn't bring himself to really torture Beck. Too much had passed between them for that. But he could ask his questions, and he could demand his answers. He had asked about the searchers. Who was commanding them? What was he like? Where were they based? How many? Where? When? But always he came back to the one central theme. Why? And always Beck's answer remained the same. Orders from higher authority. Beck had expected that to enrage Newman, to drive him into an emotional and physical fury that would end the session there and then, maybe mercifully forever. But his response had always been the same. From whom? On what authority? What do they know? Why? Then they would start again. The answers would pour out like thickening blood from a held open wound. Slower, ever slower, but constantly and with no end in sight. Patricia, evolution. Clemente, disease. Mott, neurosis. And Beck's mind raced. Don't tell him Kapf. Never Kapf. Don't talk about Kapf. Hold it back. Save something. Beat him at something. Gotta have a win. Just one win. Gotta have something. Anything. Oh my gosh. God, where are you? Over here, please. No. No. Mustn't call God. No. He might notice. Can't let him see. Can't let him find out. Oh, hell. Save me. Then it was over. Newman helped him to bed, carefully tended his chafed and rope-burn wrist and ankle, got him a cold, damp towel from the bathroom, some cold water to soothe the dry throat. I'll have some ice sent up for that shoulder, Newman had said calmly. Maybe they have some liniment or something. He'd started for the door, then turned back. If you leave this room in less than 3 hours, you'll be dead. After that, I don't care what you do. He paused, seeming to study his former mentor. You're an interesting man, General, an interesting man. It's a shame you don't have a clue about what's going on. I know, Beck muttered. What was that? I know. Do you? Newman walked back, looking him over with a surgeon's stare. The jaw set, the expression resolved, the eyes red with exhaustion and pain. Looking up at Newman, not with fear of dying or of more pain, but something else entirely, a deep, soul-tearing fear. Like a soothsayer, seeing not his own death in his crystal ball, but the deaths of many, hundreds, thousands, millions, everyone. The two men had stared at each other for over 2 minutes. Then Newman had slowly nodded. Good. Again, Newman started for the door. But whatever you do, he laughed, do it under your own name, okay? The other is just too embarrassing. He turned, leaving the room, chuckling to himself. Beck straightened in the chair. Slowly he began unbuttoning his shirt, then carefully removed his shoes and socks. 5 minutes later, he stood naked in the room, his clothes folded neatly in proper GI fashion at the foot of the bed. I've lived one day too long, he muttered as he walked into the bathroom suite. A moment later, the shower could be heard running. One day too long.